We got another comic review coming for you guys, and this is another comic that was sent to me by my good friend, Mount Vernon Kid. Chris, thank you again for this. And this is Redneck, Deep in the Heart. This is volume 1 of a Image comic by Donny Cates. Yeah, Donny Cates, a lot of people seem to forget that Donny Cates got a lot of his work done in Image than he had anywhere else. Like, a lot of people seem to forget that Donny Cates did a lot of indie comics, like God Country, which I want to read, Baby Teeth, which I hear is really good, and this. So, Redneck is a comic you may be thinking, well, this sounds kind of dumb. I don't know what this is about. Like, is it a bunch of rednecks living out in the middle of nowhere? Actually, you're not off base, but here's the thing. They're vampires. Hence the, get it? Redneck? Like, bite, you get it. You guys get it. So yeah, so I'm going to talk about Volume 1, and yeah, Redneck is a pretty awesome book. I'm going to say it, if you already enjoyed Donny Cates' Venom and his Cosmic Ghost Rider and other stuff, this is very much in the line of the supernatural, the supernatural horror, family horror that he's known for. In fact, this has a lot of themes that his Venom run has, of this broken family trying to, come together to deal with this tragedy. So this story basically is centered around a guy named Bartlett, who is this vampire who's been around for a couple of 100 years, and he's been living with this makeshift family of vampires, and they live out in rural Texas and own a barbecue joint. But one night, his 3 nephews go out one night, and it causes all hell in the town, and what happens is that the whole town, as well as the family, is turned upside down by a sudden death of one of the youngest members of the family, and the whole lifestyle of this family is torn to pieces. Like I said, this very much, if anything, this does feel a lot like Donny Cates' Venom run. This has a lot in common with that run in particular, in that this comic has a lot of the, family dynamic, the dark humor, the storytelling, that this is a character who has, for lack of a better, a broken character and a broken family trying to repair themselves. There's a lot of great introspective in here. There's a lot of great, and the other thing is, these aren't your typical vampires. These kind of, these vampires in particular they're Texans. They're literally rural Texans who just drink off of blood, but they don't feed on humans. They more or less have been living out and feeding on cattle blood. And yeah, they're literally how they talk phonetically. The main character, Bartlett, Jim, his name's Jim Bartlett. Jim is literally he's just having conversations with himself the whole time. He's just having these conversations in his head, and it's very phonetic and very close to what you would hear in rural Texas, the kind of dialect you would hear. This actually reminds me a lot of Scott Snyder's American Vampire. This actually very much reminds me a lot of American Vampire. And if you are a fan of that comic, or were a fan of that book, this is definitely, I'm going to say right now, if you were a fan of American Vampire, you're probably going to like this. It does have that whole, it's vampires in America, and it's American vampires, but there's enough difference because there is I haven't been able to read the other volumes. I want to. After reading this, I really want to read the other volumes that are out by this. And I think there's as of this recording, there's at least 5 volumes out, which, yeah, 5 volumes of this, and then you have all the stuff Donny Cates is working on at Marvel, and God knows what else he does. This is also while it is under Image, it's also under Skybound, which is Robert Kirkman's line. So you have this is the same line as Invincible and Walking Dead and all that. Not the same universe, it's its own separate universe, don't worry. But this is a really fun book. This is there's some great family drama, there's some dark comedy in here. I also really like the artwork. I can't show you anything because, Image Comics can yeah, Image Comics can be pretty adult. They're pretty adult. And so I can't really show you anything without getting, without, being in trouble. So, yeah. But, yeah. Now, I will say that unlike most Image books that are usually the first volume is $9.99, this one is $17. But I do say it's worth it. I do think this comic is worth it. If you are a Donny Cates fan, and if you like that kind of like, if you enjoy like Sons of Anarchy and American Vampire, this is literally this smushed together. Like, yeah, it's literally American Vampire meets Sons of Anarchy. And I like both those things, so to have it in one volume was really fucking cool. So, you guys tell me in the comments below if you've read Redneck. Tell me what you thought of it. Once again, Chris, I know you're watching this, so thank you again for this book. I really want to check out the rest of the volumes. I really want to see where this story goes. So, yeah. Anyway, so hope you all enjoyed this review. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.